Hey geeks, welcome back for another episode of Best Geek Vlog Ever, the weekly web show that proves it's okay to be a geek. We're your hosts, Brenden Toda and
Ezequiel Gutierrez.
On today's episode, we are going to talk about the recently announced Xbox One.
The new Xbox One hosts a slew of new features, including 8-core CPU, 8 gigs of memory, 500 gigabyte hard drive, Blu-ray drive, HDMI in and out, including HDMI pass-through, and USB 3.0.
Not to mention a totally redesigned Kinect sensor with a 1080p front-facing camera. It will respond to voice commands and gestures. The box itself looks like half of it is all ventilation, so we don't get the red ring of death again.
Cooling issues.
So my first point that I want to bring up and discuss is the name itself, Xbox One. There is speculation that it would be called the Xbox Infinity or the Xbox 720 or simply the Xbox, which by the way was my preferred.
The Xbox.
The Xbox, or just the Xbox.
I don't
Or
like that.
Xbox. You don't like that?
No, I don't like that. The first Xbox was the Xbox.
Doesn't always have to be different.
The PlayStation.
Yeah,
That
but
was the...
But iPad went iPad 2, the new iPad, the new Xbox.
Which is dumb because nobody says that. It's iPad. I own an iPad. I don't own the new iPad.
Yeah, but
I own an iPad. It's the new one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It could be that for the Xbox. It could have just been called Xbox, and I would have been happy.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to call it anyhow.
Yeah, no one's calling it
Xbox
360s. No one's calling it the One.
No,
it's
just-
I own an Xbox.
Xbox is going to save us all from the Matrix and unplug us.
Yeah.
It seems pretty clear that Sony was going for a solely hardcore gamer demographic this console generation. Xbox seemed to try to appeal to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And Wii is still definitely family-oriented or party-type ideas. So it's interesting how wide of a gap you have between all the different approaches. I like it. I think that's healthy for this type of advancement.
The companies who are making these consoles have really succeeded in getting these things to be in the living room instead of in guys' bedrooms while they're playing video games. They are very much a hybrid console at this point. Your ability to watch TV and rent movies and things like that. Last time around, I felt like Xbox was the gamer's console. And this time with the announcement of the PS4 and now the Xbox One, games have sort of taken a back seat for the Xbox where they're trying to push a lot of their new content, where PlayStation 4's press conference was very game-centric. So they sort of flip-flopped, like you said. We didn't really get to see anything for the Xbox One in terms of games, and the ones we did see were either cross-platform games that is, Madden 25, all these games that we've been playing for the last decade. So there's really nothing new in that respect, and so that's where I feel it left me wanting a little bit in this for the Xbox One.
I'm also not a big fan of the pre-rendered footage. I mean, I've been following video games for a long time, and it's pretty well understood now that you want to see how it's going to run in engine. What's my experience going to look like? I don't need the pre-rendered movie-like cinematics.
Don't show me the cinematic trailer.
Just about all of the press conference, inclusive to the Call of Duty closer, was all pre-rendered stuff. It didn't really strike me as like, I need to buy this device because I could watch a movie that has stuff like that, or I could watch stuff on the Xbox Now that has that graphical fidelity. I get the operationally they're still getting used to the new console.
Sure.
You can't show off something really, oh my gosh, look at that just yet. But if that's the case, then why announce it right now? You know what? I would have been okay if they didn't say anything. If anything,
Until E3.
well, even if they skipped E3 and they didn't announce this, people would still talk about it more, I think. They
Yeah.
would have been like, why didn't they announce anything yet?
A guy like me who is buying an Xbox to play video games, who is buying a PlayStation to play video games, show me gameplay footage. That's what we need to see. Microsoft was really excited and proud of the 15 console-specific games that they have in development. They didn't show us one of them. And 8 of them are apparently brand new franchises. Those are the things you have to show us on an event like this. When you don't, and you're hyping this event, be ready on May 21st to see the future of gaming. What the future looks like what we're watching movies and talking to our consoles. That's what the future of gaming looks like, and it has nothing to do with gaming, apparently.
I kept thinking, you know what, this may not be a bad approach to try to appeal to as many people as possible, because after all, You know, just like the small indie films, they don't look as good as the big blockbusters that everybody goes to, but may not have as much of depth, I would say, as the indie films. But that's okay. There's niche markets for each one of them, and I think as gaming continues to progress and become more mainstream, it's not a bad idea to be forward thinking and try to include as many people as possible, because it's only going to make things better and more accessible, and you don't have to be called a gamer to enjoy a good game.
Well, and even like moms and dads will be more eager to buy the consoles for their kids when they know they're going to get something out of it as well. You know, they're going to be able to watch TV through their Xbox, or they're going to be able to rent movies on their Xbox, whereas it used to be, I'm buying this thing so my kid can enjoy it. Now everyone in the family can enjoy it.
Since they led with their TV and their integration and multitasking, I felt like when I saw that, that's the wave of the future. And while I may not subscribe to cable TV anymore, the idea that you could change channels with your voice, the way that you can change what's on the screen by going,
Yeah.
that seems like the future to me. That's like Minority Report
Yeah,
right there.
very.
Or is that like Back to the Future Part 2? When they boot up like the TV and there's got like 8 different screens. That's what's happening with the Xbox and Kinect.
That is exciting. That is exciting.
If it works the way that they show.
Sure. To your point about being a gamer, I'm a casual gamer, but I own an Xbox 360 and I own a PlayStation 3. So both of these consoles that are coming out could easily sell me on them. I am susceptible to a good presentation, but more than anything, I'm looking for a good quality product. With both of these press conferences, I had more questions after than I did going into it. And I feel like a company that we all love, a company like Apple, when they hold a press conference, they show you the product, they show you what it can do, they tell you how much it's going to cost, and they tell you when you can buy it. Can we talk for 1 second about the role that Steven Spielberg seems to have with Microsoft? He is like the new unofficial spokesman for Microsoft products, apparently. Don't get me wrong, I love Steven Spielberg. We all love Steven Spielberg. But I feel like that's why he seems to be the face of this sort of unofficial spokesman for Microsoft. If he came out there and said, I will be directing at least the pilot episode of the new Halo live-action television series, that would get me really excited. But Steven Spielberg produces everything.
Yeah, he produced Transformers after all, and that's quality storytelling, isn't it?
Terra Nova is another television show he recently produced. I feel like he genuinely loves what they're doing and sort of the leaps and bounds that they're making. But I feel like him being there was kind of like, what is Steven doing here? Like, what's going on here? They're almost saying, this is a guy you love, you recognize, and you trust him. So watch what he does.
I think I would be more excited if he said, hey, I'm associated with this TV show. I won't say how, but here's what it looks like. Boom.
Show us something.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a lot of,
I think that's what a lot of this episode is going to be.
That's
A
what
lot of us saying, So that's going to about do it for this week's episode of Best Geek Vlog Ever. Thanks for joining us. If you want to keep up to date with all the latest episodes, hit the subscribe button right here. New episodes are uploaded every Monday. If you have a suggestion for next week's topic, leave it in the comment section down below, or hit us up at our Twitter at EpicHappensHere. For Best Geek Vlog Ever, we're your hosts, Brenden Toda and
Ezequiel Gutierrez. And remember,
every weekday is a geek day.